What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, this is Driver's Side and I'm Drew. As you may have seen previously, I did a video on 10 things I love about this car. Oh my goodness, I need my sunglasses. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna kind of round off that list, and I'm gonna do 7 things I hate. Hate is kind of a strong word. Things that I find annoying or dislike about this car. Before I start the list, I just want to make it completely clear that I love this car, and really there's not a lot of cars that I would trade this for. But there are a few things that I find a little bit annoying when I'm driving around, or just things that I've noticed in ownership. So number 1 on my list is the interior rattles of this car. So interiors are going to rattle. That's kind of it's kind of a given in any old car, but I just kind of find it a little bit annoying that when I'm driving around, there are some kind of cheaper materials like the plastics that are in the door pulls and the median in between the seats and the center console, just kind of little bits that kind of rattle around and make it a little bit annoying. But I mean, granted, it is an old car, so you can't really avoid that. Number 2 on my list is something I find kind of funny, but it is kind of annoying too, and that's the window sensors. So sometimes when I go to roll the windows or roll the sunroof up, the sensor will pick up something and read it as there's something in the way, so it'll reopen the window or the sunroof like halfway. Oh, come on. And I find that really annoying when I'm trying to like lock my car up and stuff, because it'll do it then, and it's really annoying. It's kind of frustrating. Number 3 on my list is something you should definitely consider if you're looking at one of these cars, or just a European car in general, and that is the cost of parts. So there is something called the M tax, and that is pretty much parts for these M cars are even more expensive than they are for BMWs in general. And BMW parts are expensive already, so definitely something to consider is the cost of parts. So number 4 is the thing I have the biggest problem with out of any of the things on this list, and that is the floor mats. So the floor mats have a problem, and that is not specific to this car. Actually, pretty much all the BMWs of this generation, I think, had this issue, and that is the floor mats used a Velcro to hold them in place, and that Velcro was attached to kind of a foamy material on the underside of the floor mats, and after a while that material just completely deteriorates and just leaves you with floor mats that don't stay in place. So that's really, really annoying. What I did actually was I ended up just taking a shop vac and shop vacuuming up all of that foamy material, and now I just have floor mats that don't really stay in place, but at least it's not messy in here. So that is probably the most annoying thing that I find on this list. So number 5 on my list is another thing that's pretty annoying, not nearly as annoying as the floor mats, but it is kind of annoying, and that is the headliner kind of comes loose. This is particularly true on the A-pillars and the C-pillars of the car. On the A-pillars, it's not that big a deal because it just kind of bunches up in the bottom corner and it's not really that visible. But on the C-pillars, it just completely hangs loose off of the lights that are on the C-pillar, and they just kind of flap around in the wind. So that's pretty annoying. The material under this headliner is black, so you can just cut it off when it comes loose and it looks fine. So it's a simple fix, but just something that's kind of annoying. Number 6 on the list is something that's a little more performance oriented, and that's the body roll of this car. Now, the suspension is probably tired by this point, but still I would like the car to have a bit less body roll. I think BMW also kind of tried to account for some comfort when they made the suspension for this car, so it probably did have a little more body roll just out of the factory, but still I would prefer personally for it to have a little bit less. And number 7 on my list, this is the final thing, also kind of performance oriented, and that's the weight of the car. So this car actually weighs 3,450 pounds stock. I've lightened mine a little bit by using a carbon fiber trunk lid. That saves a little bit of weight. I plan to get a hood eventually to save even more weight, but as I said before, the parts for this car are very expensive, so that's kind of one big downside of the car. I would have liked the car to be just a little bit lighter. It didn't have to be that much lighter, but if it was just a little bit lighter out of the factory, it would be so much more nimble, and just, it would feel so much faster if it was like just a little bit lighter. So that does it for my list of things I hate about my E46 M3. If you like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, because that really helps the channel out. Also, let me know down in the comments if you have an E46 M3, just what you like and don't like about the car, because that'd be really interesting for me to hear. Also, go check out the 10 things I love about my car, because those are definitely more important than the things I dislike about this car. So I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, enjoy the road.